Let's get back to the hip hop. Let's get back to the hip hop.
You was a what, record boy?
Well, I was passing the record. Catch the groove, I can't stop. I must have been about 14. Charlie Rock, we did. Benny Bed.
Heard him say Charlie Rock. Chuck City crew? 18 Chuck City.
Hold on. I even got an 8-track in my bag, man. You told me I wasn't there. Who wasn't there? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I was there. My man Charlie Rock, you know.
Who's that? Al Green? Who's that?
Al Green, baby.
Al Green.
That's it. And I'm from Soundview, you know what I'm saying? But I was representing the third section of Bronx.
You from Soundview?
They used to be together a long time ago, man. And I was down with King Mario and motherfucking Busy B. Starsky was the MC. Cool DJ D. And my man that's out here, Mr. T. Mr. T was one of the original too. Charlie Rock. You know what I'm saying? We go back.
The B-Boys, Let me see your back. Let me see the back.
232.
123 and all that, right?
That was before the Big Mac crew. It was the Chuck City crew.
Yeah.
Go down South Park, go back, baby. These original joints. You know what I'm saying? Look.
Okay, so I'm here with, introduce yourself.
Tye Boogie.
Tye Boogie. Okay, where you from?
Soundview Project.
Soundview Projects. Born and raised?
Born and raised in Soundview Project. From the 60s, I believe from the early 60s on up. To this present day, my mom's still living in rent office building in Soundview Project.
Okay. So how did you get into hip hop?
I got into hip hop when I was real young. I used to be on the 27 bus, coming back from wherever I was coming back with my mom's. And I used to be on my knees like this here, looking out the window, because I was small, so I had to be kneeling on the bus seat, looking out the window. And as I got to Soundview and Morrison, I used to always hear this music. It was loud and clear, but I ain't never know where it was coming from. I just thought it was just coming from wherever. But it was Soundview and Morrison, I used to hear the music. So as the bus used to turn from here, come all the way down to Watson, used to turn here, I used to hear the music clear. Started getting clearer and clearer. And as you know, the bus turns again and goes straight down. It goes down to Soundview Project, past Monroe and then down to Soundview. I was hearing music, but I didn't know exactly where it was coming from. Then like a couple of years later on throughout that, I started hearing, Disco King Mario outside playing in the park and jams. And I still didn't know what it was about. I was saying that, word of mouth. So one day, what happened was, I had a brother in my building named Sean. The family used to always go to the third section of Bronx, that's where Aunt was from. They used to have a cord from out their window on the second floor. Mario had his equipment outside the third section of Bronxville, which is over there, by Pathmark. He used to have his equipment outside from the cord. He used to have everything hooked up, coffin, 2 turntables, a mixer, amp, and all that. And I used to be standing in front of the ropes, wondering what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? And as I got older, I realized he was DJing. And at that time I was still young, I was just standing in front of the ropes.
About how old was you at that time?
I had to be young, I had to be like 13, 14.
Remember what year this is?
I started out going in the park jam probably like 75. I was hearing about it, but I was too young really to go, you know what I'm saying, anywhere to where it was at.
Right.
You know, I used to be in front of the building. My mom would be like, stay downstairs in front of the building and go nowhere because I was still a mad young teenager.
Okay.
Then I eventually went off, like I said, I ventured off with a couple of people in my building and went to Bronxville, and that's when I witnessed music being played.
And what year was that?
Like 75.
75.
75.
Okay.
Early on.
Okay, so you met Mario somehow, and
so what happened was I used to be, like they say, I was a regular person that was coming to the park jams at that time. Okay. I was just going out there, I was standing in front of the equipment, and watching them, perform, you know what I'm saying, watch him DJ. He used to be saying Disco King Mario, Chuck City crew. He used to be doing the snake. He used to have the sun visor hat with the lights going across. He had the street lights. One here and one over there. And all that shit used to excite me. I used to be out looking like, oh man, that's what it is. But the music he was playing, the catch to this is the music that he was playing, I used to hear my mom playing that. You see what I'm saying? When she used to have company over in the house, I used to be in the living room checking the company out, be playing the music. So one day I went to Mario Jam, and I said, yo, man, I got that record. He was like, yo, I see you here on the regular, man. If you got that record, man, go get that record and bring it back. And that record to this day was Candy Staten.
When you wake up tomorrow,
Sexy!
sexy.
You know what I'm saying? So he said, go get the reverse of the record. So I went and got the reverse of the record, the second copy of it. So that's when he started playing 2 records of it. He said, one day you're going to be my record boy. Then the next time I went to Mario Jam, it was right here in this park that we at now, Rosedale Park. And it was him and Tex D. And they started rocking that record, Candy Staten. Sexy! Instead of him saying sexy, Mario was blending the record out. Tex D was on the mic at the time and reversed it. He was going, Tex D! Tex D! That's when I became familiar with the scene with the DJ and they were doing their thing in the park. You know what I'm saying? So I started bringing records to Mario that I used to hear in my house that he was playing in the park. That's how he got 2 records. And the same thing, a lot of brothers was coming to me telling me that Richard T started with the name writing on the records and crossing out with pens or markers. That ain't true. Mario had me doing that way before the T Connection was even open. Feel me?
What, crossing out the names of the
Crossing out
records?
the name of the records, putting tape on it. I was doing it. He used to tell me that was my homework. I never carried the records. I was the one that was passing Mario the records. I was passing the records. Sometimes he didn't even have to tell me to get I Can't Stop or Catch a Groove. I just felt the beat of the crowd moving, doing their thing, shaking it up like that. I went and said, all right, let me get down to this drummer's beat. I would go in the crate because Mario equipment was set it up like here. And as he turned around, I was on one knee, digging through the crates. I Can't Stop. Here, boom. Catch a Groove. Here. Daisy Lady here. See what I'm saying? That's what my job was. My job was to pass on the records. See, as nowadays, brothers sit down, DJing, and push your button.
Right.
At that time, you needed the records. You couldn't really be that fast or that nice where as you playing, and then you go get a record. That happened, but the beat would be messed up because it would be going, drawn out, it would continue going. We wanted to be able to coincide, so that's where the record boy came in at. Now, I'm not talking about for carrying records. I had no problem with that, but he never asked me to carry no records at the time. What he wanted me to be, that's all I was at that time, was this record boy.
Now,
That's how I got that name. It had a rhyme out too, I had a tape, but we'll get into that a little later on. They had a rhyme out to go, he wear black mock and a pair of corduroys. He goes by the name of the record boy. The record boy shocks the house.
Yeah.
And they was talking about me, Tye Boogie.
that was a rhyme that somebody
That was a
had?
rhyme somebody put out there, because they used to always see me at the gym on a regular. They say he wear black mock and a pair of corduroys. He goes by the name of the record boy. The record boy shocks the house. Disco T. That was Mario's name. He named me Disco T. That was my name.
Disco T.
Back in the day, Disco T.
And this was a rhyme like, was there any tapes back then? Did y'all make any tapes?
Mad tapes. I used to bring my radio to the jam and put it to the speaker. A lot of them got extorted, but see, the thing about it is that we're gonna go into that later on. What happened to the tapes?
Okay. So, you said like they was instead of sexy, they would say Tex D.
Right. They were saying,
What would you call that? What
It
kind of
was
style?
blending, but he was doing that on the mic before a lot of dudes doing that now. He would blend the music in, but he would blend it out where you didn't hear the music, you just heard his voice. And that was Tex D. He was the DJ,
Right.
but he did that on Mario's set to let it be known who he was. Tex D! Tex D!
Was he doing that a lot?
He was doing that a lot. Anybody that know had been to Rosedale Park in those times should know about that.
Right.
That record right there, famous off that. It was saying, it was Candy Staten. You know what I'm saying? When you wake up tomorrow, you forget. You know what I'm saying? He cut it out and said, Tex D! Instead of saying sexy.
Okay.
He used to do that.
Right.
Instead of saying sexy, the song part, he used to blend it in, take the crossfader, put it out and go, Tex D.
Right.
That was his partner at the time. See what I'm
Right.
saying? He had a brother named KC, the Monster Man. Tex
Okay.
D.
That's interesting what you're saying, because the Spades was saying that's what they was doing with a lot of funk, soul, R&B song, disco songs. They would I guess you call it ad-lib maybe. They would put in their words over the song. So that's interesting you saying. Yeah, so go ahead, tell me more. I mean,
So, okay, so that was like I said in the 70s, right? You know, Kenny Ken was down with him. He was one of the DJs. People don't realize the difference between a DJ and a scratch artist.
Okay.
As a DJ, Kenny Ken was his scratch artist. You know, Mario was just famous for blending records in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had 2 records at times. Because like I said, I was the one that hated records in my mother's house, and I would bring it to him. And he would have 2 sets of records. But he wasn't really known for that. I mean, I can't say he didn't do it, or he didn't know how to do it, but I didn't see him never doing it. I just seen him blending records in. The next person on who he had was DJing for him that was fast and all that was Kenny Ken. You know what I'm saying? Desi Desi was down at the time. Ronnie Ron was down. Coach Doc LaRock from Monroe was a part of that. You know, Gavin, his cousin, my man Desi Dez. You know, these are brothers, man. These are the original Chuck City crew. Charlie Rock from Monroe. Not talking about Zulu Charlie Rock, the other Charlie Rock from Monroe.
Yeah, I met him.
These brothers, man, we all, you know, we was the Chuck City crew. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
So you was official Chuck City crew.
Official Truck City crew. I mean, he had people probably before me, but the dudes I seen when I first started coming, like I told you, I seen the dudes that was rapping, picking up records, passing it to them. Or put this on so they could rap over it. Or maybe a DJ or something that he knew would pick up a record. But Mario had stopped at that from the get-go, because he didn't want everybody behind the system, because records was missing before. You know what I'm saying? He had a old beat-up U-Haul truck. They used to take us to 123, to fucking Bronx River, to Watson. You know, to take us out there, old beat-up truck. I forgot who was really driving it, but he had a beat-up U-Haul truck. They used to drive us there. You know what I'm saying? So that really like solidified that Chuck City crew. Like I said, it was us. It was just a few that I named. It wasn't a big, you know, big organization. Black Space was always there when it came down to drama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was just basically the people that I named that was there. All the functions. At that time, I was young. I couldn't get into a lot of joints. Like at 123. I couldn't get into a lot of them joints. But how I got in there, they used to pull a gate back. You know, the gate to get in there. You know, the gates on the windows. They pull that back, you clippers, and cut the wires. And I would sneak in because I was always skinny, like I am now. I always was skinny, so I was always get in the jam. But once in a while, maybe Mario would come and say, "Yo, let my record boy in." They would let me in. But a lot of times, that didn't happen. A lot of the joints that I was rocking with was out in the park. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize that. Hip hop started out in the park. I don't know what dude's talking about. Hip hop started out in the park. For me, it did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it started inside clubs and gyms. It didn't get there yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mario, the crowd, if it was 10 people there, by the time the party ended, he's the only person I knew that did the snake while he was DJing. He the first person I seen with a telephone as a headphone. You know, the telephone receivers, the back of the day joints?
Okay.
He had that hooked up to the equipment, and he was DJing with that, with the echo box. All that made it unique. We used to go downtown on the 6 train line and steal the things for the speakers,
Okay.
the horns. People don't do that nowadays, but that's where we got the horns from, the PA system in the train station. We put them on top of the speakers. Yeah, at that time, that was before Stevens and Commons was built. Me and Mario used to go to Stevens and Commons and get the old wood, old speakers that people threw away. We used to fix them up, make ass kickers, Seven Vegas together, and then put the woofers on top of it. Not going to the audio store buying the shit. We used to make the speakers and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So all that was a different format, how shit really went down in the Bronx. I witnessed that, I was there.
So you saying in 75, was that his equipment or was that somebody else's equipment or what?
When I was with him, like I said, I've been to his house a few times. I've seen a lot of speakers and stuff like that. Before, if I could say whose equipment it was, all I know was he was the one bringing it out. Whether it was his or not, I never witnessed him going to nobody's house getting nothing. I witnessed all the shit coming from his crib. You know what I'm saying? So he could have borrowed it and left it overnight or whatever. I'm not going to sit and say that it was somebody else's equipment or it was his. All I know was he was the one that I seen bringing the shit out.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to figure out is when he actually got his own equipment. It might be 75. That's what I was thinking. Between 75 and 70, right.
He had the street lights. He had the echo box.
Yeah.
He had all that shit in his crib. I ain't
And that's
seen him
75.
Yeah, that was 75 when I was a part of it. Like I said, when I first started coming in front of the ropes, I seen other dudes like the ones that get on the mic, like Cornell, Nelly Nell, James Tyler from Soundview, Lil Starsky, Lil D, a lot of other cats. They was getting on, but at the same token, I believe that was his equipment.
Right.
That was his equipment.
Right.
I can't say for a fact, but that was his equipment. That's what I witnessed.
Yeah, that makes sense. 75 sounds about right. 75, 76.
Because before that, I was too young. I was hearing about it. I never witnessed like 71,
Right.
72. I never witnessed that music nowhere else or
Right.
out here. It
Right.
could have been, but I'm just saying I never was there.
Right. And in 75, you was how old? Okay.
I was young.
So, give me a rundown on who was in Chuck City at that time. You said Kenny Ken?
DJ Kenny Ken was the dude that a lot of people look at it now and come to the party that was fast. You look at some of the flyers. I ain't got really a lot of the flyers, but I got them in my mind. But you look at some of the early flyers, you will see DJ Kenny Ken.
So,
Coach Doc LaRock, he was the MC.
What?
Coach Doc LaRock, Monroe Project.
Doc LaRock? Yeah.
Doc LaRock.
Okay.
Coach Doc LaRock. It wasn't just Doc LaRock by itself. The other one was down fantastic. He was Coach Doc LaRock.
Coach?
Yeah, Coach Doc LaRock.
Okay.
Black dude, dark skin.
From Monroe.
From Monroe.
Okay.
He was one of his first MCs.
Okay.
James Tyler from Soundview, Lil Starsky, he was one of the MCs. He turned up DJ. Sundance was one of his MCs, but he turned to a DJ. But these dudes, like I said, that's where they got their start at. Dudes get it twisted. They wasn't really down with Mario. You know, it's like Theodore. He wasn't really down with him. He got it starting, you know what I'm saying? Not really like beginning, but he got, you know what I'm saying, clarity to be on the set to do his thing, because he was down with his brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Theodore was down with his brother. It's like Starsky, he became down with L Brothers and started doing his thing, but he got his start from Mario. I was there when Mario told him he was going to be a vicious MC. Love Ball Starsky.
Okay.
Busy B, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was there when he told me that. He said, yo, man, you're going to be so vicious when you get up. Because Busy B had a way of moving the crowd, but he wasn't actually, you know what I'm saying, you know, when the situation with the Chuck City got formulated, he was gone. He was gone off the race. He just got to start there.
Okay, so give me a rundown of
Ron.
official Chuck City you remember.
Yeah, Ronnie Ron,
You, Ronnie Ron,
Desi Dez,
Desi Jazz,
Nicky D,
Nicky D,
Coach Doc LaRock,
Coach Doc LaRock,
Kenny Ken.
Kenny Ken. Okay.
In 1980 is when Kenny Ken left K Connected. He left Disco King, married the Chuck City crew, and I left with him in 1980. Kenny Ken, like I said, he's the DJ. He's on the flyers. He was from Monroe.
Okay.
I don't know what his dispute was, if it even was a dispute, but he told me, yo, man, I'm getting ready to form a crew called K Connection in Monroe Project. And I want you to be my record boy. It's like he was Mario's record boy. I want you to be Mario. I want you to be my record boy. So what happened was, I took the offer and we both left. That was in 1980.
Okay.
And I was Kenny Ken's DJ from 1980 to 1981. You know what I'm saying? Not wishing no bad luck on myself, but I caught a case. I don't want to really get into all that, whatever the case may be. I was young, caught a case, caught a 15-year bid. Feel me? From that 15-year bid, I left the hip-hop scene. In 1981, I didn't come back until 1996. It's like I never gone. It's like I was never gone because I was open arms, welcome back in society. You know what I'm saying? Forget about whatever took place. I mean, I was doing my thing at that time anyway. I was in the street getting money, dealing with chicks. That's what I was about. Getting money, dealing with chicks, and doing my hip-hop thing, because that's what hip-hop was about the chicks. I don't know about dudes doing it now, some other shit. My shit was to go there, get fly, throw the British Walkers on, throw the Adidas on, throw the Pumas on, break dance, and do my thing. You know what I'm saying?
You was breakdancing.
Huh?
You was breakdancing back then?
I used to break dance too, you know what I'm saying? That's why he gave me that name, Disco T. I was a jitterbug, you know what I'm saying? I know how to break dance to this day. I'm 58, like I told you, be 59 in December, and I still know how to break dance, right? You know what I'm saying?
Was you down with a break dance crew or
I
just?
never down with breakdance crew. I did with the people knew me as solo. I would come out here to music special like James Brown. I was a James Brown fanatic in the crib. I used to dance around to that, get on a good foot, sex machine, stuff like that. So when I used to come to the jam, that shit made it even hyper. You know what I'm saying? All I wanted was recognition. Because I'm gonna tell you, keep it real. Mario never gave me no real money. You know what I'm saying? For all those years. He took me to White Castle. Yo, give him about 15 burgers. He knew whoever was there.
Right.
Got that. Maybe gave me like $30, you know, a couple of times, whatever came. But I never really like made no real big money. You feel me?
Yeah.
I wasn't asking for no money. I just the part of being down with Mario and the Chuck City crew was enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Because that gave me recognition for like people. I knew people from all over. You know what I'm saying? Lightning Lance. You know, I'm from Soundview, like I told you. Chuck Freeze, Jazzy 5. They knew me and I knew them. We all came together. Will Tracks, Lord Tariq. You know what I'm saying? Minnesota. I was there before those dudes. And they'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? I was there before them. I was down, like I said, days, 70s. Old timers used to bring me to the joints, you know what I'm saying, to get me in. Because I'm saying I had to wait an ear for music. My mom's had all them joints.
Was Mario playing the Soundview projects at all?
Mario played in Soundview prior to, he played in 107. And he played in the Horseshoe before you get to Cozy Corner. That was one of the first early joints. You know what I'm saying? It was one of the early joints. And at that time, when he played in 107 and he played in the Horseshoe and Soundview, at that time, I wasn't down. See what I'm saying? That's how long he been playing. I wasn't down then. I was just hearing the music then. You know what I'm saying? I would come outside, my mother lived up there, you know what I'm saying? I would come downstairs, I'd be outside, and he said, yo man, Mario jamming. They was jamming. I was too young to be able to walk down in those spots. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Eventually, as I got a little older, my older sister took me down to 107, and I caught a couple of Cool D's joints. Mario's joint, rock with him. I mean, you know, they had like a wall. In between the walls, they had equipment and all that shit popping over there. So, you know, I was there. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't get down, like I said, until like 75 years later.
So you saying that Horseshoe over there in the grass, he was playing music, yeah?
Playing in there.
And that was before 75 when you got...
Yeah, that was big. That shit had to be like early 70s. Early 70s. Because I remember going to when I was going to Kids Bay and all that, he been was rocking. You know what I'm saying? He been was rocking. I was too young. I was here about it anyway. And the project, like I said, I wasn't no nerd. I wasn't upstairs. I was outside. I wasn't too young to be able to go to the joint per se, but I would hear from other people. People knew I used to talk about that music. And I used to always carry a box and all that with me, put it to the speaker, take the jams and all that. But I heard about Mario way before I even got a part of the Chuck City crew. It was a pleasure for me to be a part of the Chuck City crew after that because that's what it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I said, after I took that down for Big Mac crew, that came later. That
Came
probably
later.
came like 80. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of tape you may hear, Disco King Mario and the Big Mac crew. I can't speak about that because I was gone at the time. Not saying gone per se, but I used to come to the joints, you know what I'm saying? Sit there and watch how shit was going. Shit was going alright, but it wasn't the same because I wasn't a part of Chuck City crew. I was with Kenny Kenny. He started ringing a bell, alarm, started making noise. Kenny Kenny, the K Connection crew. Look it up on some flyers. You know what I'm saying? Or ask around, they tell you Kenny Kenny was there, he had a big afro. He was there. You know?
Yeah.
And I started, like when 96 came around, and I was, you know what I'm saying, I was in behind the iron curtain, you know what I'm saying? You know what that is, behind the iron curtain. When I was behind the iron curtain, I was hearing a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, for like, Mario, you know what I'm saying? They were like, yo, your Disney, your brother, you know what I'm saying? He ain't doing too good, you feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I was hearing it, even though I was all the way up north, you know what I'm saying? But I was hearing about it, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers from here, you know what I'm saying, LK. I don't want to mention a lot of brothers, man, but crazy. Yeah, a lot of brothers that I do know from Monroe Project was coming through too. You know what I'm saying? They were telling me, brother ain't doing too good. You know what I'm saying? See, this is the time before crack. You know what I'm saying? Because I was not here for no crack at all. I'm not talking about crack that's now, but I'm talking about what was booming, 80s and all that. You gotta look at it, I was gone. 1981 to 96.
Wow.
I was nowhere to be found.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, I was a kid. I was 17 when I got locked up. I ain't come home until I was 32. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, very touching. And I get into all that stuff was taken away from me. My big wheel, my fucking Walkmans, you know know what I'm saying? All the toys I had, all the tapes. I had all the tapes from the jam because I used to personally bring the tape recorder to the joint. You know what I mean? And I couldn't do that a little longer. When I came home looking for them, my mom threw them all away because she felt like at that time, you come home, by the time you come home, ain't gonna be no use for it. But now there's $1 million industry. When I was locked up, maybe 1 or 2 people who had made records. There wasn't no records. You know what I'm saying? So Mario, you get a chance really to take it that far because, like I said, in the 80s when we broke up, man, he was, you know what I'm saying, shit wasn't looking too good. You know what I'm saying? You know, when we left, it wasn't looking too good. Then, like I said, as I got locked up and went away, shit just was different. Shit was changed. It was a different world, different program. I came home in 96. I was lost. I'm still kind of lost now, you know what I'm saying, to some degree. You know, it's hard getting back on after doing all that time because I had 15 life there. I didn't know when I was ever getting out. You know what I'm saying? The Blackjack, Little Blackjack, I know you know Little Blackjack from here, Cleveland Lawson. You know what I'm saying? That was my man in the CAC. We was up north. You know what I'm saying? We used to talk about all this stuff here. It's different. It's a different time zone, but I'm back home, and hip-hop opened the doors, opened the arms for me like if I never left. I felt it, you know what I mean? But it was like people didn't even know where I was at. Damn, I ain't see you from 1981 over to 96, but you know, shit happens.
So you said like in 81, Mario, what was going on with Mario? You said it was...
In 81, I was, you know what I'm saying?
Because that's like when he stopped, right? Like
Out 80, you know what I'm saying? Me and Kenny Ken left. In 81, just before I took that fall, I seen him. A couple of outside jams, a couple of jams inside. He wasn't DJing, but you know, his presence was there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he was a producer or what he was at that time. He wasn't, you know, things wasn't looking too good because he no longer was bringing the system out. It's like when I came home, I was looking for that hip hop, break beats, all that stuff. That stuff was washed up. And when I came home, that was unheard of. But it started fading for him, like I said, in 81. Just before, you know what I'm saying, I got locked up, I went to a couple of the joints, parties and stuff like that, and they wasn't the same. I don't know what he was doing at that time. I'm not saying physically, he was, you know, he was hanging there, but it wasn't the same. You know what I mean? But he wasn't really doing too many jams with the Big Mac crew.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I can't really speak about it because I never wasn't really, you know what I'm saying, Big Mac, so I can't really speak about too much of it. I mean, but it was, you know, a lot of brothers was there. He was there. This park right here, this whole area, that's all you heard about it at that time. That's all you heard about.
Was there any, in Soundview, what other DJs was around back then? Do you know any?
See, the people that came in Soundview, the DJs that came in Soundview at that time, they came later. When I say later, I'm talking about like 80, 81.
80.
That's when, you know what I'm saying, 82, 83. I was gone then, but you had a couple of DJs in Soundview that came up. They had the Rockzilla crew though. They were from back in the day. Rockzilla Zulu, DJ Kwame. I give him respect, I was fucking with him too. And my man from the next building, MC DJ Powwow, not the one with Bronx River, Puerto Rican Powwow with Soundview. And me and my boy Speedy, we had a thing called the Disco Twins. You know, we used to dress alike.
Okay.
Come to the jams, but you know, pull all the joints, write down numbers. You know, that's what it was about. Getting the fly chicks, having money in your pocket, and doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I was thankful for getting that money with that thing. Gunsling. Everybody knew me for that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still known for that to this day. But I'm saying that's in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, far as the hip hop thing went, that shit started dying out. You know what I'm saying? To get the popularity started dying, and things started changing. You know what I'm saying? But Mario was always here. We rocked all these joints. He was the #1 DJ. Monroe, Castle Hill, Bronx River, Monroe, 123, all them joints. You know, all the way up to Stevens and Commons, Parkside Plaza. But the thing about it, like a lot of the clubs, when I was with him, we never played no club.
Right.
So I'm gonna keep that real. We never played not when I was with him.
Right.
I don't know what he did before that or after, but when I was fucking with him, Mario, we never played in no clubs. It was always gyms or in the park.
Gyms of the park.
Gyms
right.
of the park. Stratford Avenue, Soundview Morrison. They be roped off here, going up to Bronx River, Monroe in them streets, side blocks, all that. I never, if anybody said they did, then that was before my time. But me personally, You never rocking no T Connection, no Celebrity Club, no Audubon. No spots was out. Don't get me wrong, it was out, but I don't know what was the problem. If you couldn't get him or not, or he didn't look to get him, but you never rocked none of them joints. T Connection, X Garage. I've been there. With other crews. I knew Cisco. I knew his brother from Monroe. You know what I'm saying? Lighter Than Last, Clyde. I know a lot of them cats, but you know what I'm saying? But that was later. It came later. You know what I'm saying? We talking about the original time, before my time. Mario was out here. He had the Echo Box, Chuck City, Mercy Me. That's how he used to rock.
Did he ever tell you where that came from? That name, Chuck City?
Nah, see, when I came, it was already there.
It was
solidified. I had a shirt too. He was Disco King Mario, and everybody else was a Chuck City crew. We had sweatshirts that was red with white letters. White letters. You know what I'm
Red
saying?
with white letters.
You know what I'm saying? He used to always do the famous thing. He had the headphones. He had the headphones on one ear, like I tell you, the telephone joint. Everybody had the other joint, the two ears. He had the telephone joint. Put it on, and he be doing the snake.
Yeah.
Chuck City! You know what I mean? He was doing his thing, kid. He's the only person I could say that witnessed that DJing and dancing at the same time. And with the street lights. Not the shit that he took was the thing. I don't know where he got it from, but his joint had a pole and everything. The street light, one on each side.
And what would they do? Green, yellow,
Right.
red?
Like it would
go
just like
fast
that,
or
up
slow?
and down, slow. Like if Dance Jones beat is on, it would go right with the music. And at nighttime, he had the box where it make you look like you know what I'm saying, going slow motion. He had that too.
Box that make
Yeah, he had a box that it makes you, like you press it in, you plug it in, it makes it like you going fast or slow motion, especially if you smoking. You smoke or something like that, it bug you out. It was called a flash box light. You know what I'm saying? He used to have that too. You know what I mean? Lined up.
Was he playing?
Mario just blended them in. He would blend it in like, say, Cheryl Lynn. Then he would play, anybody play Johnny Taylor, Ever Ready. And doom, boom.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying? But he didn't have two at a time. Certain records, like I told you, how he got two records at the same time as the other one, I was bringing them. The ones that I had, because I heard my mother playing them.
Yeah.
So being that I heard my mother playing, he said, yo, you gotta go get it. It's sort of like stealing, but I didn't look at it at that time. I thought it was music. He needed it, and I had it, and I would bring him a second record. But he had a few, two of them, but not like Captain Sky, Seward Sperm. He might have had one, then he might have got two later on. But at that time, he was playing both. So the disco DJ stuff ain't the truth. He was playing what was out. And breakbeats. He wasn't no disco DJ, he was a regular DJ. He was playing what was out and what he had.
So you saying he wasn't a disco DJ?
Everybody was constantly, he was playing shit. He was playing what was out at the time. Disco was out at that time,
right.
so that's what he was playing.
Right.
He brought break beats and all that too, but he wasn't the one that was playing the break beats. He had dudes that were able to cut it up. Where he got it from, the idea, I can't say, but he had Kenny Ken. Theodore would come over the same way when he wanted different, sayings instead of just the regular Chuck City, which was him. He got the voice of Star. Yo, you come up under the ropes. Little Stars come up on the road. They got on the mic and started doing their own thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that came about. These are the original cats.
So in 81, you said you got with Kenny Ken, right?
1981, I got with Kenny Ken.
Was that Zulu Nation that was popping at that time? Was y'all with Zulu Nation?
Oh, Zulu Nation was popping before that. They was out.
Was you with Zulu Nation?
Nah. I never. Zulu Nation was out. 81,
okay.
80.
Right.
Let's see. Grand Wizard Theodore, his brother Mean Gene, Cool Herc and the Herc Lord, Clark Kent, JC. I remember all the brothers came over here too. I was down with them at that time when they came. But like I said, they came later.
Ooh.
They came in the 80s, like Herc and them. They came over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They came over there with their crew and all that. And I was fucking with Mario. That's how I met Theodore. That's how I met Jazzy J. When they came and got this start, I was the one that passed them the records. They know who I am to this day. You know what I'm saying? They signed the shirts and all that stuff that I got. They was there. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, Mario had his own crew. And those crews was out, and everybody picked and choose what they wanted to be, and who they wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? I just liked the style, the sound. That's what drew me to them anyway, was the sound.
Right.
I wasn't going to sit here and lie to my 71, I was there. I wasn't there.
Right.
I was on the bus, and I heard some music. It could have been here. It could have been Bronx. I don't know where it was coming from, but I know the 27 bus, when it got to Soundview Morrison, I used to hear boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, clear. Like if I was sitting there talking to you, the echo chamber, everything was clear. Sure, city, mercy me. All that was clear. It wasn't like if you was hearing it, it was bouncing off walls, and it was clear. So I said, damn, that shit, yo, I want to witness that. Forget about hearing it, I want to witness that. So eventually, I got old enough to get a hangout card, like they say. I got a hangout card, and I was able to come to the jams myself and witness that.
So is this
I didn't see nobody doing it either at that time but him. And that clear. Later on, you know what I'm saying, I ventured off, you know what I'm saying, because I started doing my own thing.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying, I was with a lot of other brothers, you know what I'm saying, different areas, Brooklyn. I started meeting cats, man, that was out in the street like me, and shit started happening. But I didn't see nobody, you know what I'm saying, with equipment like his, the Seven Vegas, the ass kickers, none of that stuff. Whether he borrowed it or not, I can't really say. But he was the one that I seen with a clear system, point blank. And the first on this side of town. It might have been Cool DJ System, he was playing with him, but the dude that was playing on the regular was Mario.
Right.
It could have been D's System or it could have been Bob's System.
Right.
But Mario was the one that had it. He was bringing the shit out every day. I don't care if it was a Sunday. You know, 21 days of summer. I witnessed that.
Oh,
he
you
did
remember
that
that
every day.
You remember that?
Every day.
Was that
no question.
But was that the name of it or what?
He did that 21 days in the summertime.
Okay.
That's why they got that from.
Right.
That was when the fucking Rosedale pool was there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes hid, but I was there. It's like the MC convention in Warner Park. I witnessed that. I was there. Equipment and all that shit, man. Police came, took niggas' equipment and all that. I was there.
So, when you remember him doing that 21 days of summer, that was after 75? That was when you was, or that was before?
That was like 75 and after. He started doing that on the regular. It wasn't no more
like
Friday,
summer,
Saturday.
Right,
every summer.
Right.
And it wasn't, in the wintertime, like I said, he had 123. He did a couple of center joints and shit, man. Soundview Center, a couple of joints, but he didn't do major joints. His thing was bringing this shit to the park so people could see him do the snake dance, and that could draw the chicks and everybody here.
Right.
You know, the car was double parked, wasn't no shootings and none of that. If it was, we didn't hear about it. You know what I'm saying? His shit was double parked. The whole park was from that end to all the way to here. People on the sidewalk, double parked, this shit was ramped. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about it was ramped on a Sunday, 21 days of summer. That's the days he rocked every day.
Wow.
See, back in the days when he first started bringing it to the park, it used to be like maybe a Friday, a Saturday, and the shit was dead.
Right.
But with him, that's 21 summer, that shit was like Monday, right at like 3 o'clock, 4, 5 o'clock, yo, they were there, yo, they jamming in the thing. And before flyers, people don't realize it was index cards. We was gonna talk about that. So, oh, we ain't on the flyer. You ain't gotta be on the flyer. We was on index cards before flyers even came out. Passed the index card to Fat Mike, and that's how you knew it was a party rocking. And you knew the party was rocking for Mario without even being verbally being said or you being there. You know how you knew? Because the street lights and the sound system was so clear, you knew it was him.
Right.
You knew it was him.
Right.
There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You come across town, west side. That shit wasn't hitting west side. Y'all knew because he had the clear shit. Wasn't no too much bass or too much trouble. This shit was perfect.
So where would you say hip hop started?
Hands down, BX, baby.
BX?
BX.
Yeah, okay, that's no
BX.
question. BX.
Hands down. It started BX, and I believe it started right here in the East Bronx. Because it's two different sides of the Bronx, people don't realize that.
Right.
You couldn't be everywhere all at one time.
Right.
So everybody had their territory.
Right.
That's how I look at it. Mario, hands down here. I mean, the other little brothers that was there too, Cool D, you know what I'm saying, his brother Tyrone,
Right.
you know, Tex D, but it still started here from this area. This area. All within this area. Every housing project, every park, hands down, Mario took that.
So
And I'm not saying that just because I was a part of Chuck City. I'm saying that because nobody was calling me up or telling me, yo, man, let's go West Side at that time. That came later.
Right.
I'm talking about the early parts.
Right.
It wasn't like, yo, man, I'm going to Soundview Rosedale Park or I'm going to West Side. Nah, that came later.
Right.
I know about 22 Schoolyard, 18 Park, Central Park. I know about all that too, but that came after. That's the difference. Dude's trying to leap over. Nah,
Right.
you can't leap over, bro. That came after.
Right.
I heard of Clark Kent, yeah. JC, you know what I'm saying? Cool Herc, yeah, I heard that. I went to the joint, the Galaxy 2000, but that was when I was old enough to get in. I'm talking about when I wasn't old enough to get in and I was at the ropes, feeding for the music. You know what I'm saying? Summertime, 90 degrees, niggas jumping to Johnny Pump and then go right to the jam with wet Pumas on, wet socks, sandbox,
Right.
out there. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
B.Boy stand.
Right. So let me ask you. You said this the East Bronx. Now, see, that's a discussion too,
Right.
because some people call this side, they call it Soundview area. They call it the South Bronx.
South Bronx is the South Bronx. This is no way. This is the East Bronx.
It's the East
solidified. They even know that it's a three-fare zone.
Three fair zone.
This is a three-fare zone here. You gotta take a train, bus, and a train.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been that way. Three-fare zone. This is the area nobody wants to come to. It's like every time somebody says Soundview, they talk about the project. This is Soundview area, Soundview section.
Right.
But there's a difference between the projects and Soundview area. Hip hop started this area.
There you go.
Everybody was collective together.
Right.
Me, the break boys, the B-boys, the people, the crowd, we all participated.
Right.
To make this happen, make it what it was.
Right. So where would you say the South Bronx is? That's the discussion that I want to have later on.
South Bronx, Cypress,
Cypress, right.
you know what I'm saying? All that Brook Avenue,
Right.
all those joints. That's
Right,
South
that's
Bronx.
South Bronx.
They even said on the news and all that.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Public, they even said on the news. I'm just, my perspective, my idea, like I said, one man didn't start it. You know what I'm saying? It was
Right.
a collective item where different parts of it. Just like you ain't got one pair of Pumas, you got 1,000 different sneakers. The same thing. It was a lot of different brothers. I met a lot of brothers in the penitentiary. I met a lot of brothers out here, but we all came together. It was a part of hip hop. All of us. We had a knack for it.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, it's a sensitive topic. You don't have to answer if you don't want to,
Right.
but let me ask you.
But at the same token, we put it together more. We perfected it, made it to what it is today. I came back 15 years later after penitentiary, bro, and still talking about hip hop. Because that was something they took away from me. That was personal. They took that away from me. And I never forget the early days. I'm still like that to this day. All my photos you can see, and I'm going to show you in a little while, this is the old school. I came home hip hop. 1981 to 96, I came home 96 looking for park jams. Tika Nixon, Ecstasy Garage, 22 Schoolyard. That shit no longer existed. It hurted me to the core, bro. It was like taking a kid from Coney Island, taking candy away. That's how it was for me. I was hurt. Music and all that shit was gone. You know what I'm saying? And then the joint, you can't get CDs, only tapes. You can very rarely, they had to be hermetically sealed to get them tapes in, so the B-Boy tapes wasn't even in there. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the Iron Curtain, Attica, Comstock, Clinton, all the cats, you know what I'm saying? I mean, trust me, I was around all the cats, the big dogs, and I was including myself. I survived that, you know what I'm saying? I survived that, 15 in life big. I'm here to tell my story.
Right.
Not bragging or nothing, but I put in mad work. And the brothers that was up north me from that time would know. You know what I'm saying? I got my ID card and all that. 'Cause I ain't one of them cats, man, just be out here talking just to be talking because I got a set of lips. Feel me? That's a different side of the story. You know what I mean? But I was there.
Okay. Okay, so what? You have pictures and stuff to show?
Yeah. I got pictures and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I want to let my brother see. You know what I'm saying? I want for the camera to see too. Just in case those that see the show or watch the show don't know, that's a picture of Mario right there at the top. And that's me at the bottom.
Right.
not too long ago, but I stay hip hop. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. So all these signatures.
All the signatures. All these are brothers, man, that came out to wish Mario, you know what I'm saying, birthday or whatever, rest in peace. A lot of those enemy is a journey on both sides.
Okay.
You got a lot of founder members, Black Spades, anybody that was there, and people that know me too. Knows that I was around for a little minute.
Okay.
This personally, I'm gonna give this to you.
Okay.
That's the lowest tribe of Queensbridge. My family is T.J. Swan. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but
Yeah.
not T.J. Swan from Biz, the original T.J. Swan. He's gonna be in there, and I'm in that too. That played a part of me. 'Cause I'm a righteous. My name is Prince.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm a 5%, and I'm also in the Queensbridge. That's where I got knowledge itself from. My cousin, which is T.J. Swan, his name was God Ramel. But my name is Prince God of Law from Soundview.
So
Prince of God.
The T.J. Swan that was with Bismarck, that's not the original.
That's
T.J.
not the
Swan?
original.
Oh,
That's the
wow,
original.
okay.
He's the one that talks about the record that Sham's talking about. You're going to see all that in the documentary.
Okay.
You know, Marley Marl. See what I'm saying? Now we talking Marley Marl. Original Marley Marl from radio. That's about him and the Short Shot Boys. They started hip-hop in Queensbridge. How you think they started? They started through me. His little cousin.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My cousin's Big Bro. I'm the God Prince. I started that out there, meaning it started like that, but I was the one, you know what I'm saying, that brought that hip hop thing, you know what I'm saying, to Queensbridge. I gave him the ideas for certain things like hip hop beats, told him, introduced him to Mario. I took my cousin to 123 while I was past Mario record. He heard the sound system. He started trying to compare it to Woody Wood from out there, Marley Marl, the Juke Crew, but there was no comparison. I told bro, we started, bro.
Yeah.
We started this.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
family. And rest in peace to my cousin, the original T.J. Swan, and Marley Marl, and I know Grandmaster D. Drew. You know what I'm saying? All of them brothers is on there. Dimples D, the first female rapper in Queensbridge, she's on there too. It's all in that document. You gotta get that to you, brother.
Quick question. I appreciate it. Quick question. You said from 81 you was down in 81. You got arrested.
I got arrested in 81, from 81 to 96.
Okay. 82, 83. Was there drama in the prison system between the boroughs?
Yeah, shit was like, it was a lot of going on, but see, me and I'm a 5%, the guards was the ones that was,
guards.
you know what I'm saying, making all the noise. You know what I'm saying? I came in guard by Prince, guard from Soundview. You know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of brothers, you know what I'm saying? But if you were solidified, if you were from the Bronx, you're going to have a table. You know what I'm saying? Each borough, they had Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island. Each table, we had 5 niggas that was doing their thing. At each table. You had that little going back and forth, but the real niggas is going to be real. Whether you from Bronx, Brooklyn, or wherever, real niggas going to be real. Because dudes, remember, a lot of brothers from Rikers Island from Spofford. So that took, you know what I'm saying, that's in the Bronx. So that brought a lot of brothers to tension. But they had tension going on a lot of, you know what I'm saying? At that time, it wasn't no stabbing because it wasn't really too many guns. It was a little cutting here and there, but like more now. But, major shit was going up top. Major shit, the shit you talking about a lot was major. That was really like a lot up north. Rikers Island wasn't too much of that. It was a lot of dudes just coming over the street. You know what I mean? They would talk about hip hop here and there, but a lot of them dudes came in the foundation. They were still in the street doing their thing. 82, 83. I was the one that was suffering. I was in there. I would hear about it here and there, a little couple of cats, but you know what I'm saying? Real cats, you know what I'm saying? Like Killer Ben from Fort Greene. Rock Kim be talking about his song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I knew him from the streets. He blew up. Homicide that shot 50 Cent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Dow Boom. They knew Tyson. That was my man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats, man. I ain't going to so many names. Dead on Road for Brooklyn. I ran into him, you know what I'm saying? He knocked the horse out of Midtown. There was a lot of shit going on, but Bronx was doing their thing. Rikers Island, C-74, adolescent time. I'm not talking about HDM or Men's House or C-95. I wasn't there for that. I was an adolescent when I was on the island. And that was my first bit ever.
And you don't remember any, like, Bronx versus this borough, that borough? It wasn't like that?
I'm talking about like the...
Because it became like that a little later on, the borough thing. The boroughs in the late 80s, early 90s, it
I
became
felt like
a
who
borough
started
thing.
hip-hop? I mean, the Shan thing was
That
shit-
too.
That, the
That's
Shan
what I'm trying to.
right, but
Was that the
came-
beginning of
Yeah,
it?
but that came. But that see, you gotta remember that came later for me because I was on the island 81. 81.
Right.
I went up north in 83. I was on the island from 81 all the way till 1983. 83, that's where I got my number, right?
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. That, you know, people in here tell the story different. I'm gonna keep it thorough with you. See what I'm saying? 83B0780. That's me.
Okay.
That Shan story, that didn't happen until later on, bruh.
86, right?
Yeah, so that I was up north already.
So right. So and that's why I'm asking you. 82, 83. Whenever you was on the island,
Right.
do you remember any issues between the boroughs?
Nah.
Never. No, right?
Nah, it wasn't
Right.
no bro. It was issue. You know why? Because bro was solidified already at that time.
Oh, solidified.
Right, that we was making noise. We used to go to Howard, niggas knew from uptown how we dressed the B-Boy, Pumas, Adidas, Brooklyn dudes had Clarks, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Kangos and split fire joint. It was a different dress code and all that
Right.
too.
And back then, the Bronx had more of us, right? Like,
Right, that's what I said. It was,
I mean, I try not to use the word black, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they had more, back then the Bronx was more African Americans in it, right?
yeah, we was more African American. That was on the island was more, you know what I'm saying? Not to
Right.
put nothing bad, but it was more on the island, Braggers Island. It was blacks on the island.
Right.
It was like more black people up. Me and 1,000 other people that was making some kind of noise in the Bronx,
Right.
baby.
Right.
I'm original OG, you know what I'm saying? I might be a little young, but ask the old timers. They'll tell you that. I was one of them cats that was out there for a long time, before even 5%, before I turned guard body from Queensbridge. You had that going on in different boroughs, different that and third, but the drama, you know what I'm saying? Black people they was locking up. They was locking us up, you know what I'm saying? This is all mine. Original collection, British Walkers, all that. The original joint. That joint you be seeing now, these are the original joint. That was my style then. That was me right there, but I got cut off digging in the crates.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So this is that time zone. This is Rosedale Park, Fever D, Ice Ice, that Sundance brother, Mean Gene, Straight Man. He's the dude doing the flyers.
Right.
Sundance. You know what I'm saying? Come on, that's me. Know who that is, right? Curtis Blow, DJ Baby Boy, Mean Gene, his brother Grand Wizard, and all the names. And this full of, you know what I'm saying? All the brothers, man, that reached out. I got the shirts and all that too. See, this is the Lost Tribe. That's my cousin right there, TJ Swan. You know, and that's his partner, Bar Sean. He down with Flash and the Fury 5 now. You know what I'm saying? But that's my original cousin. That's TJ Swan. That's Slick Rick. This is what I gave you. These are the brothers here, the original brothers I told you. They started hip hop out there in Queensbridge. But they came later after us. It says it on the documentary.
And what was their names?
Short Shot Boys.
Short Shot Boys.
Yeah, Short Shot Crew.
What about those names that Shan was mentioning? He said,
Right, those dudes, you know what I'm saying? Or the dudes I'm talking about that started it. He was part of that. You know what I'm saying? He was
Short
part
Shot.
of it. Short Shot Crew was all
They was a part of the names
volleyball, right.
that Shan was
Yeah.
mentioning? What you said?
Jabby Jab,
Jabby Jab.
you know what I'm saying? Okay?
That, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All those dudes that you talk about in that record was from Queensbridge. I know those dudes personally. That was my cousin.
And-
That's it.
and you say-
Dr. Bob Lee,
Okay.
Roxanne Shante, Tragedy Gaddafi, the Disco Twins, Dimples D, Metal World Peace, Marley Marl, Craig Nice.
So what you saying? You
Mas-
saying you brought hip hop out to Queensbridge?
I didn't bring it out there per se, meaning I introduced them that I got family, because I'm family from the Bronx. I'm
Okay.
from the Bronx. I had been going out there from the 60s, 70s, all the way up to the 80s, telling my cousin, yo, Disco King Mario got a bad sound system. You know what I'm saying? He rapping on the mic, do all this stuff here. They was wondering, because they wasn't doing it yet.
Okay.
They started later on, 75, 76, they started it. But I told them, this was before me. I'm only bringing you what I know. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing them what I know. But at the same token, it was a different program.
Okay.
That's Curtis Blow.
Right.
That's Soundview. That's where I'm from. See what I'm saying? That's all the technique, turntable, sneakers. Showed you that already. This is TJ Swan. That's TJ Swan, original TJ Swan, and that's me, and that's Baby Bro. This is right there in Queensbridge. That's Reed Center that they be talking about. So Lance, come through, guest. Lance will tell you, he was there. I introduced him to my cousin, the Disco Twins. That's y'all put that up there. Right. That's Tex D. I know Tex D personally, like I told you, the joint with the song. That's all the kicks. That's the 45s. That's Mario. That's the boom boxes in the crib, the antique joint. That was before hip hop. That was out. You remember the cameras, the bomber, leather hat with it. Smalls, Barshawn, Charlie Rock, Disco Twins right there. That's one of them. Curtis Blow, DJ Spivey. That's the albums. Me and Brucey B. That's my cousin right there that passed. Ramel from Queensbridge. He looked at the documentary with DJ Lightning Land.
What up, y'all? What up, New York City, all over the world. Bronx Burn Kid, on my way to work. Got about 30 more working days with transit. I could retire. I could do your backyard barbecue, your bar mitzvah, your sweet 16, your wedding reception, your divorce party. I'm all over the place. And spending 45 years, me and Tye Boogie, we go back as far as teenagers, young teenagers, before we even heard the word hip hop. It was like, let's go to the jams. Who's jamming in the park? I came on the turntables around 77, 78. I wasn't Lightning then, I was just DJ LJ. By 79, I was Lightning Lands, playing with all the icons or the founding fathers or the pioneers of hip hop from the first decade. And this park right here, historical park. It was different back in the 70s, in the early 80s. The DJs that was out in the parks before me and my cousin Clyde was in the parks. Tex D. Rest in peace to Tyrone the mixologist, his brother Cool D, also Disco King Mario. Then Bambaataa came. And from Bambaataa, then a lot of other crews started coming. It was crews back then.
Right.
Crews, facts. Cats used to put all their stuff together. You might have had a crew with 3 or 4 DJs in it. That's how you started out. Whether you stayed in the game long enough, a lot of cats got out the game early. Especially when the crack epidemic came, which was later on. Right. A lot of them DJs.
Tell them how important it was for me to be there at that time.
Oh yeah, the record boy, yeah. He was there with Disco King Mario, me behind the ropes and all that. Back then you had to be down with the crew or, you couldn't just come behind the ropes. It wasn't like that. And cats wasn't just putting anybody on these sound systems back then. To pull your weight up as a DJ, you had to have your own sound system. That's how it was. Okay.
How important was the record boy at that time? And now it's not, some of it's not the same as sitting down, pushing buttons. At that time, it would be I can't stop, catch a groove. You had to know where the records is at to be able to get them. DJ, he wanted to right then and then, not pause, half an hour, then come back. No, I can't stop, catch a groove.
Record boy, yeah, he was going in the crates and passing the DJ that was on the turntables, the records. You know what I'm saying? Even back then, a lot of DJs, when they first started, they might have just had one of a record. You know what I'm saying? You had to have 2 records to cut it back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Especially when once Flash came into the element. You know what I'm saying? Once Flash came in the element, that changed the game of DJing. You had to have 2 of every joint if you was going to mix it back and forth. Breaks, the part of the record, which we call the get down, the break part, was real short.
Right.
So when the MCs started coming and rhyming over that steady beat, you had to have 2 of the same record to cut it back and forth or mix it back and forth.
Tell me who was the DJ Kenny Ken. Tell me who was DJ Kenny Ken, because I try to explain it a little bit.
Kenny Ken, he's a lot older than me. I'm 60. Kenny Ken got to be like maybe 66.
I don't know where you
Wow.
He's originally from Boston Road, but he moved over here to Monroe. Because he used to live over there with the L brothers, where the L brothers
from.
live.
Let him who he was down with.
He was down with Mario. Kenny Ken he got his start with Mario. You know, he's on some of them flyers, them 77, 78 flyers. He's on them flyers. Just like Jazzy J. He was down with Mario before he got with Bambaataa. Jazzy J from Brown Sugar. Bambaataa from Brown Sugar. But before Jazzy J got with Bam, he was with Disco King Mario. That's like 78. By 79, 80, he went with Africa Bambaataa.
We talking about the time before crack.
Yeah, that was before crack.
Tell me about the little being that I wasn't here to really talk about something about the crack era.
Oh, that shit tore a lot of niggas up and a lot of chicks up, yo. It's like once you started smoking that first time, you try to recapture that first sensation. So you never can get that first sensation back. So a lot of cats that was trying it, they started smoking. Once they got hooked, they was selling everything but the kitchen sink. They was breaking into pay phones. They was taking the quarters and the dimes out, you know, and whatever, anything that they felt they could get $5 off, but they was selling. Pretty girls that was, you know, the fly girls back in then that was only giving certain cats a play. They got hooked on that crack.
So the other thing I want to ask you, because like I came home in '96. When did the break beats and like the park and all that? When did that stop?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this.
For the people.
The breakbeat era was a short era. It was basically the B-Boys. Was the B-Boy era. Once the MCs started getting a lot of shine, like a lot of MC crews started coming out, I say anywhere between like 80, 81, a lot of the B-Boy and stuff had stopped. You know, it had stopped. Hip-hop was going to different levels, different stages. B-Boying came back later on, like towards the late 80s, early 90s. But from that, like, majority of that, like 80, 81 era going forward, it was all about the MCs.
Right. We stopped as far as like African American people, but that's the issue now. 80, 81, that's the Rocksteady era.
Yeah.
And they picked up and they took it around the world and they did
exactly.
things.
They toured with it.
But there wasn't no beginners.
There wasn't at the beginning.
Right.
It wasn't
all the original B-Boys had stopped by that time. The original B-Boy. I'm not discrediting Rocksteady. They did a lot for this breakdance. Like they said, they toured it. It's always somebody that might have been doing it first or invented it, and somebody picks up and takes it to a different level. It's always like that. A lot of times the creators of stuff, the innovators don't get the shine or the credit or the money. It's just like that with everything.
So when did the gyms and stuff stop?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like
Gyms
this.
and the park jam.
The park jams to me, I'm gonna tell you like this. The park jam era basically was 70s, I'd say mid 70s, anywhere from 75 to like maybe the ending of the 80s to me. Because when them DJs stopped, they stopped playing in the parks. Them 4 DJs we named, they were playing in clubs, bigger venues. Mario got out the DJ game early. By 81, 82, we stopped DJing. He used to play on my set. We did a jam out here in the 80. I don't know what year it was, like maybe 80.
What was your era? What was your era of park jams?
My era, me rocking or me going to the park jams?
You rocking them.
Me rocking the park jams, I say 79, 80. Once, like the early
You wasn't
DJs,
doing 82, 83, 84?
Oh yeah, I kept doing it. 80. I could say from 79, 80, the beginning part of us, we took over. Me and my cousin Cool Clyde. Clyde's from this building right here, the Scholar building right here. I lived over here in Lafayette, walking distance. As a young shorty, a teenager, I used to walk over here, hang with my cousin Clyde. We used to come to this park. This is before I was even DJing. We're talking 75, 76, 77. By 77, I started getting a little feel of the DJ, watching them other DJs. Watching them DJs, Tex D, Disco King Mario, rest in peace, Cool D, Tyrone the mixologist, rest in peace, Bambaataa. Those were the main cats that was bringing the sound systems out in the park.
So once
Once they faded, me and my cousin Clyde took over. This was our territory. This whole east side of the Bronx. We talking Castle Hill, Lafayette, we talking Monroe, Soundview was our home. We used to play to 3:34 in the morning. 100 Park, which is by Monroe Project.
Right.
We played here, Rosedale. We did Bronx River with Bam a couple of times. He told us to bring our sound system over there, and we brought it to Bronx River.
So you get credit for that.
Exactly. And let me see where else we did. We did, it used to be Corvettes.
Right, parking lot.
Parking lot. They closed that down winter 81. 82, we did the biggest outside jam over there. You was already locked up by that time. This was 82 on my birthday. Jazzy 5 MCs. We had Incredible 4 MCs. That's from my projects, Lafayette. We had Cosmic Force MCs come down and rock. It was like about 1,000 people out there. Disco King Mario was out there. I got the tapes, and they say Disco King Mario in the house.
So you saying there were hundreds, maybe near 1,000 people out there?
It's about 1,000 people out there that day.
I gotta ask you, because that's where we at now. How many of those?
I was telling when I was Rosedale Pool.
Oh,
They come
yeah.
in the middle of the night, jump over.
Rosedale Pool, yeah. Little shorty going to the pool.
Do y'all remember Andre Harrell?
Of course.
Yeah.
Where was Andre Harrell? Where was he living at?
Bronxdale. Section. He the one who brought Jodeci and
Jodeci,
them
right.
up from.
I heard about it, but me personally, I'm not gonna lie, I never met him.
Andre Harrell?
I never met him. I heard about the brother, but I never met him.
I knew Andre Harrell personally.
Okay.
Personally, he used to come to our jams. He even got my cousin, two of my rappers, Slew Man, and also Dynamite D, to perpetrate Run DMC before they was out on video. When they record Suck MCs and it Like That was out, there was no video out for them yet. Run DMC was booked to play somewhere else. He called my cousin Clyde and said, yo, I need a favor, yo. I need y'all to imitate Run DMC. Because I guess he had booked the concert and he had Run DMC and they DJ at the time on the bill. But being that they was at another event, he had to make that work. So he had my boy Slew Man, who lived over this way, Dynamite D, who was my MC from the Hypnotizing MCs, and my cousin Clyde. I wasn't even there that day. They told me afterwards what happened. And Andre, rest in peace to Andre. He paid them some money, and they had to do the song. It's Like That and Suck MCs.
Tell them about the documentary I just gave a Lois Tribe and I gave you. Tell them about that.
Oh yeah.
You want to know how I know the brother from Queensbridge.
Oh yeah, that's his cousin, the original TJ Swan. As a shorty, he used to be traveling all over. I didn't even know that at the time. He used to be going out to Queens and all that. We talking stuff that before hip hop was global,
Right.
before it was all around the world. We talking first decade stuff.
Right.
We was there. We watched this build. I was one of the participants, one of the unsung DJs that's been in this game, still spinning, still doing the damn thing. The Bronx Burn Kid, Lightning Lance.
And I believe if I didn't take that full, I was still been in the middle mixing that. Like I said, I took that big full and came back years later looking for that. Say that same thing. It was like, yo, man, ain't no more breakdance, ain't more hip hop. Everything had changed. It was a different world. Program females, everything had changed so drastically. You told a decade and a half. I know time cuts, decade and a half. I'm lucky I didn't get a quarter. I got 15 size a quarter, so I was able to land back out here in '96 and see the growth, see the change, see the youth. The stuff that dudes doing now, I've been did that.
Right.
The dudes that ringing bells now, I've been knew those cats. Like I said, like Killer Ben, you know what I'm saying? I was telling him about Killer Ben. He even knew Killer Ben. You know these dudes, man. Just Life from Fort Greene. I knew him from the Parliaments. You know what I'm saying? He's making noise. Like I told you, the dude that shot 50 Cent, Homicide. I knew these dudes, man, way back before they even got a name. You know what I'm saying? You might see a lot of these brothers on TV or whatever, but when you out in the street getting money, getting chicks and all that, at them big parties, Harlem World, Rooftop, T-Connection, all them joints, you're gonna meet gangsters. The real
Skate
niggas.
Palace.
Skate Palace.
Skate
You'll meet
Key.
all those dudes. I remember the same thing, I meant to tell you that too. Skating Palace, before it was Skating Palace, it was 232 the bowling alley. I remember they had a carnival there and Mario played there. Dudes don't talk about
Oh,
that.
you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. They had a carnival there.
The bowling?
That's right, the
Yeah.
bowling alley, 232. And I was younger then. He older than me. Like I said, I'm 58, I'll be 59 December 10th. He my sister age there. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, at 13, 12, no exaggeration, I was getting in them joints. Parkside Plaza, it was 123, like I told you, they used to pull a gate back. They cut it with wire cutters, and I would be able to slide in because I was always slim. The same thing when they would break out and I was there, when they first started, Rockin' and Stevenson, instead of paying, I would go right to the fence, and they would cut a hole in it, and pull it back, and slide in right through the gym, and be in the spot. Right in the spot. And they had the stamps that they put on your hand. I used to rub them on Land's hand and then go in, right in the joint. Like I was in there.
A lot of cats don't know about this.
Lance, where's all the video, the pictures or
See, but
recording,
it's like-
audio of Mario?
Well,
Right,
I'm gonna
see?
tell you what it was.
Right.
Back then, in that era, a lot of cats, if they made tapes, they wasn't clear tapes to begin with. A
Right.
lot of times they put the little box close to the speaker,
Right.
come out
Distorted.
distorted. Cats, even if you made tapes, you wouldn't think it would be worth anything years later. Remember, when hip hop started, nobody didn't think it was going to go this far.
Right.
Nobody thought it was going to last 20,
Even our
30,
parents.
40, 50 years. They thought it was a fad because it was something new.
Right.
You know?
I mean, like I said, I was one of the dudes that had them. I had at least 25, 30 tapes. I had to call my mother. The tape is still in the drawer. But you gotta remember, you talking about 81, she was telling me that. 82, 83. I say up at like 92, I would call mom, the tape is still there, because that's what I started hearing from people coming in. Well, yo, them tapes are popular. What? You can make millions of money off them tapes. By that time, mom said, I'm gonna keep it real with you, and the thorough house cleaning. They incinerated. God! I almost fell off the chair behind that. But when I came home, that's what it was. Tapes, you know what I'm saying? Circulating, you would build them up, go to thrift shop, you can't find out one tape now of Mario. Especially Mario, you can't find out one tape. I had 30 or 40 of these joints.
And
None of them.
Cats that, if they had tapes, they lent them out. You lent them out to cats. You didn't keep the original.
Right.
You lent out the original to somebody and it popped. Cats wasn't dissecting and fixing
Right, like we was.
cassette tapes back then.
Right.
You
Or
know?
button tape thrown away too.
Or they'll tape it over. Funk Master Flex.
Right. Shit like that. And then those dudes they ain't even making no noise now. It was a waste of time. You know, God bless the dead, AJ Scratch. But that's my brother. He got a baby by his daughter, Keisha. She's on a YouTube joint now. She was at Busy Bee's party. AJ was the first person to tell me that before he passed away. He said a lot of dudes, what they did was they started smoking. And what they did, they just gave it to a dude. The dude took the tape, threw it away, or either erased it.
Cats didn't know what they was going to work
Yeah,
for.
they didn't no longer know that no more.
That's why today I document everything. Even though,
Right.
you know, I'm an active DJ, I go around with camcorder. I be videotaping stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's why me the same way. He tell you that I always carry this. I want to do things. I'm selling it now. I ain't sell this my documentary because you here today and gone tomorrow. I ain't promising nobody.
Right.
That's a lot of things. See, I you know what I'm saying? I pray to Allah, you know what I'm saying, that I'm able to be out here to show, you know what I'm saying, my appreciation for hip hop and still being around. All I do is talk hip hop. All I wear, my attire, is something to deal with hip hop. If it ain't a hat and
Them
sneakers,
Adidas now.
or something. You know what I'm saying? Always
Shell
something.
top.
You know what I'm saying? There's always something. You know what I mean? So these are the stuff I can't forget. Now before I finish, seeing that joint, right? You know, the old technique. You know, you got to know the difference between that too. Brucey B, Fab Five Freddy, Joe's MTV Raps, you know, Biz. You gotta capture these joints. You You know, that box, you know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers want that. You know, Mike, Flash, you know, these are pictures and stuff like that. Same thing with this, you gotta keep that. You know, you gotta keep all that. You know, that band from Black Spades, T-Ski Valley. You know what I'm saying? That's family too. He married to my cousin. You know? When we get a chance though, I'm gonna wear jacket. That's the rest in peace joint for Mario. And that's just how it was. See the street lights? That's how it was for real. You know? That's how it is for real. And Busy B, like I said, he was there. Busy B was there, the foundation.
Yeah, Busy B was down with Mario.
Right.
Before the L Brothers.
Right. You know what I'm
Before
saying?
he was Chief Rocker Busy.
Right. That's where he got started from. Eddie Cheever. Yeah, that's Eddie Cheever and Curtis Blow.
Yeah, I always wanted to know who that was.
Yeah, Eddie Cheever.
I gotta get to work.
Yeah, Eddie Cheever was there. No doubt, he'd be good
I
with
gotta get to
him.
work.
All right.
Once again, y'all.
30
Bronx
days.
Burn Kid, DJ Lightning Lance, Hip Hop for Life. Shout out to Cousin Cool Clyde, Little Shot Rock, hypnotizing MCs. DJ FaZe, what up, FaZe?
No doubt,
Mike,
no
good.
doubt. Lance, be good, be safe.
Alright.
You know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to my beautiful wife. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my beautiful wife Tara. You know what I'm saying? She in Jamaica right now. Love you. You'll be back home in a few hours. You know what I mean? And all the hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Fat Mike, you know, Big Mike passed away. You know, Rosedale Park Foundation. You know, we take it back to 131 Monroe. Soundview always there. Will Tracks, Lord Tariq, Peter Guns, Jazzy 5. Rest in peace to Sundance. You know, all the brothers, man. We're gonna take it back to Bronx River, Dolan. You know what I'm saying? Sunni. You know what I mean? A lot of brothers passed away. Like you said, Anthony and Andre, the twins, the real disco twins. My cousin, TJ Swan, the real TJ Swan. You know, these are shout outs. You know what I'm saying? I just want everybody to know I was well and alive and I'm still here. After 100 years later, but I'm still here. You know what I mean? It's a good thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
I ain't asking for no money, nothing. All I'm doing is just put my story out there. That's how real I am. I'm putting my story out there. If I didn't say your name, it ain't that I didn't know you, or I remember you. It's just that there's a lot of names.
Right.
A lot of names. You know what I mean? We doing this for the love of hip hop. I just wanted the story to be put out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't
Right.
about, I just wanted the real truth to be out there. Because sooner or later, brothers like myself that got a little age and the other brothers, we ain't gonna be around to tell
Right,
the story no
exactly.
longer. And then it's gonna really get distorted.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Exactly,
So
right.
right now we gotta pay homage to Herb, you know what I'm saying? Cool DJ D, his brother passed away, but we gotta pay homage to brothers like that was there. Not these other stories, because a lot of stuff KRS-One be saying too is false. Like I said, not taking away from nobody, but a lot of stuff you could tell me, a lot of other people could tell me that I don't know. But like I said, 15 years is a long part to be gone. That's why I ask certain questions too. You know what I mean? Question, brother, like, why you don't? Nah, I ask that because it's shit. 15 years may not seem long to somebody out here, but 15 years to be away from society, when hip hop and all that was going on, you need to know what took place in that time. What took place in 84? What took place in 85? Because I wasn't here to witness it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't here to be witness. That's a good interview.
Right.
And I'll be looking forward to seeing it or hearing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm a peace out with, like I said, 5% nation, man. I'm God body. My name is Prince of Law. I'm going to end it out with peace.
All right. Peace.